Sleeping Beauty by Charles Perrault. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a king and queen who longed for a child. After many years of hoping and praying, their wish was finally granted, and the queen gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. The king and queen were overjoyed and decided to celebrate the birth of their daughter with a grand feast. They invited everyone in the kingdom, including fairies, to bless their child with gifts and good wishes. Among the invited fairies were 7 wise and kind ones, each prepared to bestow a special blessing upon the newborn princess. The grand feast was held in the great hall of the castle, and everyone marveled at the beauty of the infant princess, whom they named Aurora. The 7 fairies approached the cradle to give their gifts. The first fairy blessed Aurora with beauty, so she would be admired by all. The second fairy granted her the gift of wisdom, so she would be wise and just. The third fairy bestowed upon her a kind heart, so she would be loved by all. The fourth fairy gave her the gift of song, so she would have a beautiful voice. The fifth fairy granted her the gift of grace, so she would move with elegance. The sixth fairy blessed her with the gift of dance, so she would dance like a swan. Just as the 7th fairy was about to bestow her gift, the doors of the great hall burst open, and in walked an old, wicked fairy who had been overlooked in the invitations. She was furious at the slight, and with a voice filled with anger, cursed the princess. When the princess turns 16, she shall prick her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel and die, the wicked fairy declared. The king and queen were horrified, and the entire hall fell silent with fear. But the 7th fairy, who had not yet given her gift, stepped forward. "I cannot undo the curse," she said, "but I can soften it. The princess will not die when she pricks her finger. Instead, she will fall into a deep sleep that will last for 100 years. She will only awaken when kissed by a prince who truly loves her." Despite the softened curse, the king and queen were determined to protect their daughter. They ordered all the spinning wheels in the kingdom to be destroyed, hoping to prevent the curse from ever coming true. Years passed, and Princess Aurora grew up to be a beautiful, wise, and kind young woman, beloved by all who knew her. On her 16th birthday, the king and queen arranged a grand celebration. However, in the midst of the festivities, Aurora wandered away from the crowd and explored the castle on her own. In a remote tower, she discovered an old woman sitting at a spinning wheel. Unaware of the danger, Aurora was fascinated by the spinning wheel and asked the old woman if she could try it. The moment she touched the spindle, she pricked her finger and fell into a deep sleep, fulfilling the wicked fairy's curse. The old woman, who was none other than the wicked fairy in disguise, vanished in a puff of smoke. The king and queen, devastated by the sight of their sleeping daughter, placed Aurora on a splendid bed in the highest tower of the castle. They ordered that the entire kingdom be put to sleep, so that when Aurora awoke, she would not be alone. Time passed, and the castle was surrounded by a thick forest of thorns and brambles, hiding it from the world. The story of the sleeping princess became a legend, told by parents to their children for generations. 100 years later, a brave and noble prince from a distant land heard the tale of the Sleeping Beauty and decided to find the enchanted castle. He journeyed through treacherous terrain and fought off wild beasts, determined to reach the princess. When he arrived at the castle, the thick forest seemed impenetrable, but the prince's love and determination were stronger than any obstacle. As he approached, the thorny vines parted, allowing him to pass through. He entered the castle and found everyone fast asleep, just as the legend had described. Guided by an unseen force, the prince made his way to the highest tower and found Aurora lying on a splendid bed, as beautiful as the day she had fallen asleep. The prince was captivated by her beauty and leaned down to kiss her gently. As his lips touched hers, Aurora's eyes fluttered open, and she awoke from her long slumber. The curse was broken, and the entire kingdom began to stir from their 100-year sleep. The king and queen, overjoyed to see their daughter awake and safe, welcomed the prince with open arms. Aurora and the prince fell deeply in love, and soon after they were married in a grand celebration. The kingdom rejoiced, and the story of Sleeping Beauty and her brave prince was told for generations to come. Aurora and her prince lived happily ever after, their love and bravery serving as an inspiration to all. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more magical tales. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an adventure. Sweet dreams, and see you in the next story.